Well, we've all heard about it by now. The movie The King's Speech. It's been applauded by audiences everywhere and honored by the Academy with a Best Picture Oscar for its depiction of how King George VI must overcome his speech impediment, not only to deliver a speech, but also to inspire a nation.
What was your earliest memory?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here then?
Because I bloody well stammer.
Do you know any jokes?
Timing isn't my strong suit.
But it's the film itself that has inspired stutterers around the world. For some, it shed light on an issue they must face every day. For others, it's encouraged them to do something about it. And joining me now for more is Chamonix Olsen Sikora, who is the executive director of the American Institute for Stuttering. Also with us are Charlotte Glessner and Derek Wood, who are clients of the Institute. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, how realistic was this movie in terms of the treatment, the condition? What did you think?
Well, Colin Firth did an amazing job depicting someone who stutters, and it was a really realistic portrayal of the physical struggle that happens and also psychologically the fears and the struggle that someone goes through. So that was very realistic.
You know, you kind of saw him fighting back, almost fighting against his own mouth. What is it about stuttering? How does stuttering cause? What causes it, and what physically happens to a person?
Right. Well, what we know now is that there's something physically going on in the body, and it's neurologically based. At least the research is really pointing in that direction. There's a lot of brain imaging studies that are going on that show a difference in the way the brain activates, as well as the structure of the brain being different. So what's happening is we need breathing, the vocal folds vibrating in our throat, and then the articulators in the mouth to move very gently and easily to produce fluent speech. And something's going on with the brain to cause some type of mistiming of messages being sent down to the level of the vocal folds. So when you saw the king kind of block and not be able to get a word out, the breath came up and then the vocal folds closed off in the throat and prevented him from speaking.
Now, I wanted to ask my other two guests, did you guys see the movie and what did you think about it?
I've actually seen it twice, and it was great. And one of the things that really struck me was not him speaking, but the sort of expression, the look of fear. I think in the first scene where he goes to speak and it's really difficult for him, the level of fear and anxiety in his face, in his gestures, in his eyes, I was like, oh, I've lived that 1,000 times.
And Shar, is that something you could relate to as well?
Yeah, I think as Tarek said, you can just totally sympathize with the anxiety and the anger and the tears that he's experiencing.
The frustration that he really showed so well. Actually, we have a clip from the screenwriter who talked about a little bit about why he wrote this and who he hoped to inspire.
I accept this on behalf of all the stutterers throughout the world. We have a voice. We have been heard. Thanks to you, the Academy.
Do you think it's... what do you think the impact the movie had on people is or will be?
Right. Well, the stuttering community is really excited right now. This is a movie that's representing someone who stutters in a really positive light, giving an accurate portrayal of stuttering for once. There's been a lot of movies in the past that have shown the person who stutters as the butt of all the jokes, as someone who's less intelligent, and we know that stuttering does not dictate the intelligence of someone, and so people are thrilled. It's really bringing the community together.
What I thought was interesting too is he was so sick and tired of the different methods that people were using, and he really didn't even want to seek help anymore. Shar, did it take you a while to want to seek help, or is this something you've been working on your whole life?
It took me a while. I would say when I was young, I really stuttered since I can remember, and I would say when I moved to New York, I got hired as a preschool teacher, and I taught for 1 year, and it was hard, and I decided then that I really wanted to seek help. So it was still hard, but I called AIS, and I went in and I had a one-on-one with Chamonix, and I never looked back, and I signed up for the intensive program, and it's drastically changed my life.
So, again, we're referencing the film. We're bouncing off the Oscars this week. In the movie, we saw that he did things like sing. He did things with his breath, as you described. Is that similar to the treatment that you did, Derek?
I haven't had to sing, thank God.
That would be scary for a lot of people.
But yeah, breath is really key. There's so many tools that they've taught me to do there. There's certain things, and when I speak now, I'm very conscious of what I'm doing with my tongue, my lips, my jaw, and one of the sort of key things that I've learned about is just not to hit my words hard, not to hit the start of words hard, because that's going to make me more apt to tense up. So as long as I keep moving, keep the onset of my words softer, then I'm much less apt to stutter.
We actually have another very interesting clip of an exercise that some students opt to do. This is someone who has decided on the day of having to give a speech that he would go a step further and actually go to a very public place and make a very public announcement. Let's have a listen.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a cutter working on my speech, and announcing it to y'all is my way of helping to overcome my fear of speaking in public. So, any of you have any questions about stuttering, please feel free to ask.
Now, we've seen it all on the subway. This I've never seen. And this is pretty cool. Shar, you said you've done this as well? What was that like?
I would say it was a challenge that was pretty incredible. And I would say walking to the subway, I was like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? I'm crazy. I'm not going to get up in front of everybody on the subway. And then when I was there, I just came right out and said it. And it was a pretty empowering feeling, because so much of what you learn at AAS is to shed the shame and to shed the embarrassment that could come along with a stutter, and that really helped.
Is that the point of the exercise? To just
throw it out there.
Throw it out there.
Yes, there's so much about the treatment that's overcoming fears, and a lot of the fears and the avoidances that people have built up over the years of stuttering. And this is just one kind of big, fun exercise.
I think that would work for a lot of different things. Well, listen, thank you so much to all of my guests. Chamonix Olsen Sikora of the American Institute for Stuttering, and clients Charlotte Glessner and Derek Wood. Next, speaking in public. The King's speech may have shown how public speaking affects those who stutter, but stage fright is an issue millions around the world deal with every day as well. Find out how you can speak with courage when Good Day Street Talk continues. Stay tuned.